Because King Dice, we love King Dice. I don't know if you have heard about, is this going to work or no?
Brandon Tatum.
Brandon Tatum. Brandon Tatum is one of these black conservatives. So, of course, he has like 3 million followers. 3 million dumb, booby-headed white people who, because they live in the anti-white narrative, they think that they know that their concerns, their victimization, etc., doesn't matter inside of that narrative. But they erroneously think that since black people are special in the anti-white narrative, that if black people or other non-white people share our positions, then that legitimizes us. But of course it doesn't. And it doesn't matter for these tards to go their entire lives seeing that it doesn't work. They still go back to this non-white conservative well. And we see this reemergence every couple of weeks of another of the joke that you have this conservative gathering and the one non-white in the entire crowd is on stage. Keynote speaker. How did Brandon Tatum get so big? Well, we complained, of course, about Charlie Kirk lifting up all of these blacks and other non-whites, not doing not one iota for white people. Not one iota. Let me find he went out and found, I played you the video of another black conservative content creator, just one of many that Charlie Kirk made famous. Kirk found him and DM'd him, and he had no followers. He had a couple hundred followers. Kirk reached out to him and told him how amazing he was. Come be a part. And Kirk told the world about him. And as a consequence, he ended up having hundreds and hundreds of thousands of followers. Kirk made him. You will never have this happen from me. I am never going to lift up a non-white person because they're non-white. I will put my brothers and sisters ahead of everyone. Every single time. If I reach some, which I don't think it'll ever happen, but some colossal popularity, you better believe it's going to be my white brothers and sisters, and in particular my white brothers, that I pick up and surround myself with, like the Spartans at Thermopylae. But what do we see from the rest? The Sean Hannitys. What do we see from the Charlie Kirks? Picking up non-white people all over the place. Look at how moral I am by the anti-white moral metric inside this anti-white hell. Look at how moral I am. I've picked up another non-white person. I made another non-white person famous. I hope King Dice has learned his lesson. Because Brandon Tate is turning his back now on TPUSA unless they cut ties with Tucker Carlson. Because Tate here doesn't like Tucker Carlson's stance on the country of Israel. He doesn't like that because Tate has found out now where he can find the most butter for his black bread. And of course, it is with a percentage of the overall Jewish community that work together nobly and beautifully for their individual well-being by way of their group well-being. And so he decides to come out and says, TPUSA, I'll always stand with them to some degree. This guy is, he's totally illiterate. And you know something else, but he's just a total dumbass. A total like mid-tier on their bell curve kind of a guy. He's a dipshit. But yet, almost 3 million followers. Why? Because Mark Dice made him. So I hope King Dice has learned his lesson. And I hope we have more white guys with popularity that will pick up our white brothers rather than picking up non-whites for any excuse, for any reason. Because Mark Dice made Brandon Tatum. He was no one until Dice shouted him out. And now he's got more followers than King Dice. I imagine since King Dice is an awesome guy, he's learned a lesson from this one.
A very popular black conservative YouTuber who I gave a shout out to back in 2016 when he was just getting started because I thought it'd be good to have more black Trump supporters visible on social media. But as we all know, if you back a DEI hire, it never turns out well. And now Turncoat Tatum is trying to undermine Charlie Kirk's last.
Why would you be? Why would you think that elevating these people would ever be good for our people? And I'm not saying this in terms of King Dice. I'm talking about like generally across the board. Of course they're going to turn. Naturally. They don't have a bio-spiritual peoplehood with us. There's no deep connection like that with us. Of course. You're gonna prop up a bunch of non-white people, and then their own group, other non-white groups are gonna show up and say, look, I want you to do this vis-a-vis the white race. That won't be so good for them. Sure thing. Whatever you want, boss. You got the dough? Sure thing. We should be propping each other up. This is what I joked about at my speech in the United Kingdom years back. White people never pick the phone up and say, wait a second, you're a white guy? All right, let's make this deal happen. Never happens. And you can see this on display. You know what else never happens? Big non-white content creators don't pick up in the right-wing Republican endorsing, MAGA supporting non-white content creators. They don't lift up white content creators. You know, isn't that a strange thing? There are a bunch of them. Tatum would never talk to me. We've tried. We have tried relentlessly. They won't pick up white people. White people won't pick up white people. So we need to begin acting like a people. And that begins by demonstrating that behavior publicly. If you want to be a real leader of the white race, you want to be a real leader of conservative values, which are the values of Western kind, then you need to publicly pick up white brothers and sisters. You need to publicly, especially white brothers, because they don't have the vagina loyalty and the jugs to get clicks and follows. So let's see it. Let's see it.